We've been joining Frank Donovan and his family on their journey of generosity. Frank saw what giving his first and best meant when his son gave sacrificially. Frank was convicted of a heart problem regarding his love of money. Last time we saw Frank start to really get it as he served at the soup kitchen. Frank begins the film under stress. How many of us carry that stress? The walls that we are building around our life don't seem to be as strong as we thought. We strive for protection, for that man-made hedge around our family. But what does it bring? Stress. Ray gets to the heart of the matter quickly with his misunderstanding of Frank. Is it a matter of trust or a matter of trust? God does not bring stress. There may be pressure in life. There may be trials, but stress. John 14, verse 27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. He gives us peace, not as the world gives. When we lack that peace, it is time to make sure what you're doing is in line with what God is wanting us to do. Look at Ray. The joy, the peace he exudes. We learn later that life has been no walk in the park for him, but he grasped this key lesson. Frank has built impressive walls in his life. He's clearly a wealthy guy. Nice house, pool, investments, everything. His financial planner is even impressed by him, as we saw in the first film. But Frank learns, as we all do, that when push comes to shove, those walls can do precious little. Frank's investments cannot save Cassie from a purse snatcher, and his retirement plan won't steady the hands of the doctor.
All right.
Let me take this opportunity to say again, financial planning is not a bad thing. The Bible is full of advice about money. As we have stated before, God isn't trying to get your cash. God is after our hearts. Frank's heart was clearly leaning on his financial state, his imaginary walls. And we learned that Ray's history holds a different perspective on those walls. Ray used to resent those with money. He saw what the money could do, how it could change his circumstances, and he hated them for it. It was in that dark time when he found those verses in Proverbs 18. Proverbs 18:11. A rich man's wealth is his strong city, and like a high wall in his own imagination. Proverbs 18:10. The name of the Lord is a strong tower. All right. The righteous runs into it and is safe. Ray learned the difference in tower living. The view, the perspective is strength. Our walls crumble easily, but the name of the Lord is a strong tower.
All right.
When we run to it, we are safe. Ray experienced real hardship in his life. His wife dying of cancer, homelessness, but he knew when to run. Ray unlocks another important piece in his conversation with Frank. Frank asks how we can tell the difference between building imaginary walls and being smart with your money. Ray answers, maybe when you stop thinking of it as your money. Job 31, verses 24 through 25, and verse 28. If I have put my trust in gold, or said to pure gold, you are my security. If I have rejoiced over my great wealth, the fortune my hands have gained, then these also would be sins to be judged. For I would have been unfaithful to God on high. Ray gets it. It isn't about us. It's about God, the strong tower. Now, before you think that this is only a hard lesson to learn for the wealthy, consider the story Ray told about his own journey. We touched on it earlier. Ray saw those around him that had financial wealth and began to hate them. Oliver prays a very interesting prayer in Proverbs 30, verses 8 through 9. Give me neither poverty nor riches, but give me only my daily bread. Otherwise, I may have too much and disown you and say, who is the Lord? Or I may become poor and steal and so dishonor the name of my God. Others knew a thing or two about human nature. Just as Frank has been trusted in the abundance of his finances, in Ray's past, he had dishonored the name of God by hating those that had more. Are you hurting today? Are you stressed? Do you long for peace in your life? Run to the tower. Leave the crumbling imaginary walls behind and see what your world looks like from the tower of the name of the Lord. We all face trouble in this life. We are tested, and sometimes we feel overwhelmed. But we can call upon the name of the Lord, the strong tower. For those of us who are believers, what does running to the strong tower look like? Run to Christ, run to his word, and run to his people, that we may lift one another up in prayer. Spend time this week asking God to reveal your imaginary walls. Seek God's help in dismantling them and running to the strong tower. Join us next time as we conclude this series and see that the last step in our journey with Frank is just the beginning.
All right.